The renewal of our mind is a learning process.
You can't have a close proximity to darkness and still be expecting to be enlightened and have an easy kind of two-way flow conversation with God. But in order to really have that access and be readily and spiritually aware of what God wants to say to us and the message that He wants to pass on to us, we need to kind of like denounce darkness, essentially, because you can't be in darkness and still really be open to light.
Foolishness has it's actually tied to not knowing the will of God, and wisdom is also tied to knowing the will of God. So unlike how the world ties or defines foolishness and wisdom, it's when you don't know the will of God, then you are not wise, and then when you know the will of God, you are wise. So I also learned that discerning the will of God is not like a walk in the park. There are tools that you need to equip yourself with, and the only way you can equip yourself is when you subject your mind to renovation, which is that transformation that we are being told about in the scriptures. And when you submit yourself to the journey of transformation, because there's a process, at the end of the day, you will just know the will of God and you will delight in it and you'll walk in it. So
knowing the will of God is very, very important when it comes to our journey with God, our relationship with God. And the will of God goes beyond seeking God's face when it comes to being faced, and when it comes to making decisions that has to do with being faced with multiple viable options. So knowing God's will at that time is one of the minutest things that has to do with knowing the will of God. And then he also talked about the fact that in knowing the will of God, there's a place of being transformed and the place of being sanctified, being set aside.